Fresh off a rough homestand, 2-7 for the Phillies, who fall to 8-13. We bring you a Monday edition of Phillies Fastball. A rough weekend, a rough 9-game homestand at Citizens Bank Park. I'm Mike Gill. Oscar Budejen, Jeff Kerr. Well, Jeff, you've been pumping out the stats, so I'll start with you. 4 through 8 in the lineup, not very good. Really, 1 through 9 in the lineup has not been very good. We've seen them get an early run. Felix Reyes hits a home run in his first ever Major League at-bat, and that's the only runs they can score. On Sunday night, it was Kyle Schwarber providing the only offense in the first inning. This offense clearly has problems, Jeff, and we'll start with you on a 9-game homestand that was very ugly against the Braves, the Cubs, and obviously they started this thing off against the Diamondbacks.
They're pressing. They don't want to admit it, but they're pressing. They're trying to do too much. Everybody in the lineup is trying to overcompensate for somebody else. If it's not Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper trying to do it, it's Alec Boehm trying to do too much to get himself back on track. It's Bryson Stott trying to do something to get him back on track. It's a collective mess right now. They're not playing well in all three facets of the game: offense, pitching, fielding. It's just a discombobulated mess right now. And if it wasn't for the New York Mets, there'd be a lot more talk about how the Phillies are the worst team in baseball.
So, Oscar, he said they're a discombobulated mess. Offense, pitching, everything. Can any of these things turn around?
I mean, you can turn it around in a day. The challenge is the mental part of this game, which is not easy. Look, the leaders needs to step up. I mean, that's where I would start. The leaders needs to step up, and some of the kind of the tier 2 guys that we call them. I mean, the Stotts, the Bombs of this world, the Garcias of this world, are going to have to support the entire team. I mean, and I'm very, very concerned. I mean, when you look at Turner, Harper has been hitting. The problem is that Harper and Schwarber, I mean, we depend too much on the home run. I mean, I was talking yesterday with Jeff about this on Phillies Weekly. We are the team that has the lowest at-bats with runners in the scoring position. The lowest at-bats with runners in the scoring position. We're number 30. We're below Cleveland. We are the 5th highest payroll in all of baseball. This is not supposed to be happening. And as Jeff is saying, they're pressing. And look, over the weekend, we were 0 for 16 with 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position.
Well, there's a lot here, guys. There's a lot of meat on this bone, obviously. And last night after the game, Rob Thompson said, you can't have the emotion like football and hockey. Sometimes too much emotion works against you. Of course, the fans are saying this team is lifeless, and they point at the manager. Many people want change. A lot of people wanted Thompson out 2 years ago. He has been back. I don't look at Thompson as the part of the reason why they're struggling. But if you have to change something, is Thompson's laid-back nature part of the reason why they might need a change? Do they need somebody with a different voice?
The problem is the fans think you're going to get Dallas Green to replace him. They don't exist anymore. Like, who replaces
Well, Jeff,
Rob
I asked the question, how many World Series did Larry Bowa win? And he would kick dirt and flip tables.
Yep.
I agree with what you're saying, but we all know how this works. If it's the same message and I can't change the players, somebody has to be changed. Otherwise, you saw that ballpark last night. You saw it Saturday, and I saw the ticket prices. You could get in that building last night for $15. I don't know when the last time was.
I wouldn't want to get in that building. It was 40 degrees and raining. I wouldn't want to get in that building either.
Jeff, you know this, and I know this, though. Those Philly fans were sitting in that cold weather when this team was performing. They don't believe in this team anymore.
In April? In April?
Yeah, they've been sold out every single game for 5 years.
No, they weren't. I can say this as someone who's had season tickets for a long time, especially on Sundays. No. They do not come on Sunday nights in April. I don't care.
Okay, well, maybe they don't, but what I will say is this, something I haven't seen, $15 tickets. They were begging people to go to those games. They were begging people. And by the way, it was emptied out on Saturday night as well. That people left.
I mean, people are upset. I mean, and the weather yesterday was awful too. I mean, it was pretty cold out there. Look, the bottom line is we are what, April 20th?
Yeah.
We're April 20th. We are in a hole. We're 6.5 games behind the Braves, which is a big hole. We created this hole, and we said it on Friday. If they lose 2 or 3 games against the Braves, the hole is going to be a lot deeper. Well, the Mets' hole is even deeper. They're 0 for 10 in the last 10 games. They have an 11-game losing streak. I mean, it is pitiful. I mean, the reality is we have not played good baseball. Nobody has played good baseball. And don't tell me that Schwarber hitting a home run every 3 or 4 days is going to be the solution. I mean, again, the same issue. We scored 2 runs. We don't score the entire game, because there's not complementary. There's not other guys that are supporting this effort. There needs to be a team effort, not just an individual effort.
Yeah, and that's where I agree with Oscar with the whole team concept, right? It's a bunch of individuals trying to not perform for themselves. They are trying to perform for the team, but I think they're trying to do too much for the team. I think there's too much pressure on a Christopher Sanchez or a Jesus Lazar to go out there and throw 6 shutout innings right now. And that's just not the reality of it. The pitching, I feel like they're walking on, what's the word? They're walking on ice. Yeah, eggshells. Thank you. Yeah, they're on thin ice. The hitting, I mean, look at Alec Bohm. Look what he's doing right now, or not doing. Look what Bryson Stott is not doing. There's just too many guys not doing anything. I don't know if it's going to turn around. That's where I'm concerned, because Alec Bohm, we know he's on borrowed time right now. He will not be here.
Well, the question here, I'll throw you this, guys. Why don't you make a trade? Why don't you trade some of these underperforming guys, even if you have to pay a cost for it? And you can change somebody that needs to change in scenery for somebody that needs to change in scenery, and just
listen. Oscar, I think a lot of the fans are saying that. Why not do something different? Why not change up? Jeff, did they try to trade Alec Bohm or Bryson Stott in this offseason and just didn't have a lot of interest?
They tried to trade Alec Bohm. It's you the fan thinks he's bad. Guess what? Major League Baseball thinks he's just a guy. Yeah. That's the reality of it. And
there might be another guy. What I'm saying is there might be another guy that needs to change of scenery.
Well, I'll tell you what, Oscar. I think the other guy hasn't swung a bat yet. That's the problem.
Well, here's the other thing, and Oscar and Jeff, I'll ask both you guys. You can't trade Harper. Stott doesn't have very much value at all. Trey Turner, you probably can't trade him. Bohm, not a lot of value. Brandon Marsh, maybe some value. You could try to move him. Obviously, Crawford, you're not looking to trade. Adolis Garcia, obviously, I mean, you could DFA him at this point.
We're talking Alec Bohm. I mean, let's not go around the.
I agree.
What we're talking about.
But what I'm saying is, you're talking about making trades. I don't think there's anybody on this roster that you could say is tradable.
I don't disagree. I mean, I don't disagree. It's part of the issue. Some of them make too much money, and the other ones that don't make any money, they're not good enough. I mean,
I'll tell you what, if you really want to get me fired up with the trade, you trade a starting pitcher. And I'll tell you who I trade, the guy who makes $27 million a year. I'm sorry. I would have traded Jesus Lazar this offseason, if you want to be honest. That is unacceptable what he's doing. I don't care. You make that much money, you can't pitch that bad.
Well, there was a lot of people, Jeff, that thought, why not just give the money to Suarez and try to trade Luzardo while he had the value to try to get some pieces back to your lineup? Instead, they let Suarez walk and gave the money to Luzardo.
I'm fine with Luzardo, guys. I don't have a big issue on Luzardo. I mean,
I don't either, but I'm telling you, you have to pitch like a $27 million pitcher. You can't be doing this. This is unacceptable what he's doing. I don't like it. Like, you can't have these hiccups. You can't.
Yeah,
hey, talking about hiccups, look at the numbers, guys. Look
Oscar, he has done this in the past. He gave up 20 earned runs in 2 starts last year. That is unacceptable. You are a big league pitcher. You're making $27 million a year now. You have to figure it out. They're pitching, doing this.
Oscar, as you know, and Jeff, you're fired up about it, and I like it, which is their pitching has not been great, although last night they gave up 4 runs. The night before, Christopher Sanchez gives up no earned runs, and they lose the game. So
exactly. It's the offense. Let's be
real. ERA is incredible, by the way. Christopher Sanchez ERA, it's like on the floor. It's like 1.5. I mean, it's incredible. But look at the week, guys. We scored 3.67 runs. Remember, I tell you, we have to score per game at least 4 runs. And then we allow 7.33 runs the entire week. I mean,
Well,
2-4 and 1-5 the last 2 weeks. Incredible.
that goes to Jeff's point is the pitching has not been what you had hoped it would be. It's turned around these last – Painter pitched well, Sanchez pitched well. But outside of that, yeah, you're not getting what you thought from the rotation.
And you know what? Painter, too, you have to give them 5 innings. You have to give this team 5 innings. You do. You can't be getting out of the game in the 5th.
You know what's funny? Last night they were talking about it getting to 100 pitches, and I looked at the scoreboard and I said, man, they're talking about this, and it's only the 5th inning, and he was at 70 pitches last night. And obviously, right, the length from him not there. And I'll tell you the other thing, you take a look at Zack Wheeler's start yesterday was not encouraging that you just pop him into the rotation and things are going to change.
It was too cold. It was too cold. I heard it was too cold. Providing excuses. Come on, guys. The guy didn't have it yesterday, period. I mean, it's not a cold or hot.
No, and I agree with you on that. By the way, Zack Wheeler's openly admitted his fastball will not be there when he comes back. He's taken pride in getting guys out the major league way when you don't have your ace stuff. We'll see how that works. But I'll defend Oscar and Luzardo here. That 7.94 ERA will not last the whole game.
No, listen, I think we all think that, and here's the question I have for both of you guys. I think we all think that Luzardo will turn it around and Turner will get hot.
I agree. I think he'll be fine in the long run. But you just can't have these hiccups. But
we're saying this about all these guys. We go to, and Oscar, if you could switch to the hitters, we all think that Luzardo's going to turn it around. And we think that Turner's on base is going to be better. And we think that Bohm's going to be better. And Stott's going to be better. And maybe they're just not all these guys. Maybe Luzardo might, but is Turner's on base going to get better? Is Garcia? He's been dreadful. Garcia, 15 strikeouts in the 4-hole there. Bohm. 139. I mean, holy moly. Stott, 207.
I mean, look at by position. They're 29th in baseball in OPS from third base.
Guys,
That's
look at
bad.
this. So you guys can cry.
Oh, yeah, this is ugly.
Oscar
showed me this last night.
Start crying, Mike. Start crying. Look at this. Look at the OPS by batter.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just betted on Jesus Luzardo when I saw this. Like that. He's like 20th on the list of their problems right now.
Well, you're right about that. The pitching, I think we all agree that the pitching will probably come back to form and be very good. But I don't know about you guys on where you think the hitting is going to improve. And by the way, Turner, his on base 304 as a leadoff guy, that's unacceptable. The only two guys who are basically performing at the top of the lineup, you got Schwarber and you got Harper, who have been good. Harper, not great. Harper. But the rest of this lineup, I mean, where are the answers?
I was being a jerk last night when I posted about the 4, 6, 7, 8 hitters last night because I'm like, look, you want to see why the Phillies can't score? It's right in front of you. This is why they can't score. By the way, JC Realmuto is out an extended period of time. You really gonna roll with Marchand?
Ooh, yeah, Marchand has one hit in the season.
But I don't know who you go. I don't know who you go with. Remember, Marchand started out bad last year too. If you remember.
Yeah, but part of the reason I give the Phillies some of the flack here for Marchand is they never play the backup catcher enough for him to get any rhythm. They played Realmuto way too much over the years. And now Realmuto, look, this is a thing. They're saying he had back stiffness, and they showed the play, and you're like, that's a result of an older guy playing too much that kind of flared up on him the next day.
Is Age catching up to this team?
What was that?
Is Age catching up to this team?
I mean, it could a little bit, but I mean, look, Schwarber and Harper. I mean, they're hitting conceptually, at least on paper.
Yeah.
Garcia did not have a hit all weekend. He got on base 4 times via base on balls. March is now getting on a slump.
Yep.
Because I mean,
he faced lefties on back-to-back days and he couldn't get a hit.
Yeah, exactly. So
so telling us what we already know, what we've been trying to say. All three of us have been trying to tell people all season.
It's a flawed lineup. I mean, what are we going to say? I mean, and look, Bohm and Stott, we expect much more from you guys.
Right. Well, and it's so flawed. Yep. It's so flawed. I'm a proponent of using younger players if they're ready. Like the kid Nori, to me, he can hit. The problem
he
is,
can hit. Yeah.
where are you going to put him in this lineup? He's left-handed.
I am going to tell you guys this. This is from someone in the organization who has seen a lot of good players come through Reading over the last couple of years. This person has told me Nori may be the best one. And keep in mind, this is with Justin Crawford and Aiden Miller and Andrew Painter.
I don't doubt it, Jeff.
And I'm like,
I don't doubt it. That kid to me just looks like one of those guys who just could hit. Now, the problem is he's left-handed, and he plays the outfield. You've already got Crawford in center. You've got Marsh in left. I mean, are you going to go with 3 left-handed bats in the outfield? Because I have no problem, replacing Garcia at this point.
I don't like Bryce second, but I don't disagree that this might be an interesting change to make right away.
Yeah, Mike. I
Kyle Schwarber lead off, Turner second, and Harper third. To start changing things. I mean, you need to start changing things. If you keep the same thing and expecting different results, you know what that is. I mean, it's crazy.
Insanity.
That is
exactly.
insanity.
So I like. Hi, Michael. Michael is actually in the West Coast. But I like the idea of moving Schwarber to the leadoff spot and trying to start moving some things around.
Yeah.
I
listen.
what?
And if you ask Rob Thompson, he would give you the answer I would give you.
All right,
look,
this is the fine answer. Look, this is the fine answer. Straight Wheeler for O'Neal Cruz.
I'm gonna want him.
No, thank you.
Well, listen, they by the way, as we're doing this, the lineup is not out for a 7:40 start tonight against the Cubs. I'm interested to see after a 2-9 trip. Now today, The Athletic posted an article that basically puts Rob Thompson now on the hot seat. I mean. Ken Rosenthal writes the article, guys, whether it's fair or unfair, he was mentioned as a manager who could be replaced. And you wonder if that's enough to say, I got to really make some shakeups to this lineup starting with tonight.
Does Don Mattingly, fix things?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what?
I don't think, and he mentioned Mattingly. He also mentioned Dusty Wathan because he mentioned that Mattingly's in a tough spot because his son
I'm a big
here.
Dusty Wathan guy. Like, I've known Dusty for a long time. I hope someday he does get a shot.
Yeah,
maybe
Dusty's
it will happen.
Great guy.
But I'm telling you, this is not Rob Thompson's fault.
Oh, listen, I think all three of us would agree. This is not Rob Thompson is the biggest problem on this team. Now, there's a lot of people listening to us and watching us right now who think he is the problem. Me, you, and Oscar do not agree, Jeff. But as we know, sometimes when you can't trade or change anything, look, he could stack this lineup 6 ways to Sunday. It's not producing.
Yeah.
I mean, put Kyle Schwarber lead off. I think it more than the concept is what it will do. It might change things. You got to move things around. I mean, I would even try Crawford lead off. I mean, if need be, but you have to move some things around. So, and I know he's not been hitting well the last few days, but we just things needs to start feeling different.
Yeah, with Oscar, I don't want the future of Justin Crawford hindered because the guys on this team above him can't perform. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's you got to change things up. I mean,
by the way, I know everybody likes to blame Dave Dombrowski for everything, but I keep going back to
players, guys.
Yeah. What did you want him to do? Is it his fault Nick Castellanos can't? He's not here. Like, you're paying the guy what, $17 million to not be here?
Well, listen, I think there are a lot of flaws to this roster that they have stayed pretty complacent with, and we've all been talking about these flaws for 3 and 4 years now, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the issue continues, guys. Chase rate. I mean, if you go chase rate, our whip rate, we strike out too much. I mean, we don't get enough. I mean, it's the same thing always. I mean, it's not.
Guys,
you know what? Oscar and I joked 2 years ago when we started Phillies Weekly how the chase rate was down, they weren't hitting. The chase rate went back up, and they started hitting.
Well, listen, the Dombrowski portion of this is pretty interesting because he's another guy that I think a lot of people are just tired with because of the messaging. The message is we have a good club. We like our club.
We're
complacent with our club. Right. So, Jeff, you got to admit that messaging wears on the fans if you're not competing. And now here's the problem. They get Bryce Harper. They give him this deal. Well, 4 years left with that deal. You're looking at it and say, yikes, we're kind of locked. Trey Turner. who I never saw as a $300 million player in his best of best years.
Yeah, you've been consistent with that for a long time, by the way.
Yeah, and you have him locked in here for 5 more seasons. The JT contract, you're already looking at that and wondering, what is this going to look like 2 years from now? They were kind of backed into a corner with Schwarber because if he walks, what does this team look like? But then you give Nola that contract. Now you give Luzardo a big contract. He's given a lot of contracts to guys that are locked in here that is not only making this season look grim, but future seasons now will look very similar because you can't get out of these deals.
This team won 96 games last year.
And 95 the year before.
And the 95 the year before.
Yeah.
And they won.
That's why I got mad when – that's why I got
still
mad
early.
When
I know it's not. I mean, it's still early, but not that early. So get going. I mean, get going.
But that's why I got mad when like people were getting on the we're content with our club. Well, I'd be content with 96 wins too. I'm sorry, baseball playoffs are a crapshoot, but people like the October watch.
I mean, you want to be the Nationals?
Get to October.
I mean, do you want to be the Nationals? Do you want to be the Colorado Rockies? I mean, look, I appreciate what Middleton, what Dave Dombrowski, and what Thompson have brought to this team. We've been in the postseason the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, we've done a great job. I mean, building the core. Look, we have won games. I'm not worried about it. Now I'm a little worried because of the beginning, but I think it's a funk. We're going to get out of the funk, and this team is going to hit. There's too much talent in here.
I'm a guy that this is why I kind of leave my emotions where they are, and I can get emotional, but sometimes it's just not your year, right? And I think where I go to that is, and look, it's still early, but when you're getting guys like JT Realmuto hurt, Johan Duran hurt, Zach Pop hurt, I know it's Zach Pop, but Jonathan Bola, like guys in the bullpen, like this happens a lot. Like there's a lot of injuries on this team.
The Braves.
It went from
the Braves had it last year, where they
Braves
just had
last year, and look how good they are now.
Right, they had so many injuries they just could not overcome. And then, that could be what's going on with the Phillies right now.
And you know what? And in fairness, the Braves did change their manager too.
And I told you, we needed to win the Washington-Colorado series and, I mean, wipe them out and then the Diamondbacks. Now you find out yourself that you have to go to Chicago to play for, then Atlanta, then San Francisco. Thank God it's in Philly, not in the House of Horrors.
One of the interesting parts about the slow start to the season, 8-13, 2-7 at home, is they've had one of the easier schedules in baseball so far.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That is the point.
And that's what we were concerned about 2 weeks ago.
Right, if not the easiest schedule in baseball, and this is all they've had. Listen, we've all watched it, and we talked about it. Oscar, they bring up Felix Reyes. Let's talk a little about him. The kid has a big night. He hits a home run, and people are excited. The next night, he's not even in the lineup. And that's where an idea where I say, you know what? The kid provided a little spark. Maybe play him in right field and have Garcia sit down for the night. Instead, the guy who hits the home run and gives you the only energy for the night, he's not playing. And as Oscar, you hinted at earlier, when's he going to play again? I don't know. So if anybody thinks that Felix Reyes come up is going to give this team a spark, he just is going to be in the same position that Kemp was, not playing enough.
I like Jeff Bassett. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
You know what bothers me about this 8-13 start, if we're going to be honest? It's going to take them, maybe 2 or 3 weeks just to even get back to 500.
And you lost your closer.
Yep.
Johan Duran is out with that grade 2, not the lowest grade, a grade 2 strain oblique. He might be out a month. With his injury.
Just think about Joel Embiid. I mean, he had an oblique. He missed 13 games. Now, I know Joel Embiid's probably a little different, but he was out for multiple weeks.
He was out for a while. Yeah.
Yep. Real quick, guys. Nola tonight.
Felix is Felix. I mean, he's going to hit. They're going to give him opportunities. We're going to have 2 lefties against, and we'll show the matchup in a minute. We're going to have 2 lefties. He's going to have the opportunity to hit. The question, can he do it consistently, and can he make a big difference? This guy, we know he's hit. We know he's hit. I mean, Steve Porter always told me, this guy's a hitter.
Well, can he hit at this level?
Apparently, yes. I mean, with the home run against Chris Sale, I mean, it's a good start for him. Now
it was. I will say he hit the home run off Sale, and then after that, it looked like Chris Sale said, "All right, buddy, try to take a look at some of this stuff." And as they put out on the broadcast, Yeah, he hasn't seen sliders like that.
Yeah, man,
so we'll see.
And look,
we'll see.
to Felix Reyes' credit, this guy was just outfield death in the minors 2 years ago.
Exactly. Bingo.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he
You're
got
making
better.
the point, though. You're making the point, though, Jeff. I'm telling the listeners, I wouldn't hope that you think that Felix Reyes is going to help save this offense.
he's
That's
not.
all.
Or as I like to tell people, and like it's funny, like a lot of my Phillies contingent likes when I tell people this. Felix Reyes, you could have been walking next to in the Target last year, and you wouldn't know who he was.
Absolutely. Real quick, they have made a decision on Taijuan Walker. He will have an opener for him on Wednesday.
He still has to pitch the first.
You scared me for a second. I thought there was some bigger news coming out.
Oscar and I talked about this last night on Phillies Weekly. What do you do with him when you go back to the 5-man rotation? Zack Wheeler comes back.
I mean, realistically, guys, they're in a bind because they're paying him $18 million, and they really don't. I mean, other than Rangel, who's pitching well, they don't have another guy for depth to be a fill-in starter if they need one. He's really the
Gene
only
Cabrera
guy.
ain't it either. He's got like an AERA right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so there is no other guy.
History tells you you're going to need him.
Exactly, Oscar.
Yep.
Someone else is going to get hurt. Someone's going to miss a start.
Yeah.
And realistically,
maybe
Walker,
Connor Gillespie. It might be Connor Gillespie.
For
He's pitching
$18
well
million,
down
Connor Gillespie.
Not yet. I don't think in the beginning. I think they're going to keep him there. If things turn ugly throughout the year, then you can give a chance to a younger guy.
This is my whole Taijuan Walker philosophy, honestly. You're paying him, you might as well just keep him around.
Well, and people always complain, and this is, they complain, why does Thompson start him? I said, don't blame Thompson. If the GM has him on the roster, that's who has to pitch. He's making $18 million, so if he's here, an $18 million guy ain't just sitting around collecting dust. He's going to have to. So until the GM gets rid of him, Thompson's going to have to keep trotting him out there unless
it's like
Wheeler
Adolis
comes
Garcia.
back.
Yeah, it's like Adolis or Nick Castellanos last year. They
Unless,
basically played him until he had to be a part-time player.
And let's manage the expectation. Let's manage the expectation of Zack Wheeler when he comes. He needs.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Let's manage those expectations. We're not going to see a Zack Wheeler we've been seeing the last few years. It's going to take him some time to get to his real game shape.
It may take him all year.
All right.
It might.
Series number 8, Phillies and Cubs, Wrigley Field tonight. It is Nola.
We're only in series number 8.
Mike, let me finish with a good note here. Nola 7-2 against and 4-1 in Wrigley Field. 7-2 against the Cubs and 4-1 in Wrigley Field. So that's a good news.
Now the Cubs used an opener the last time Colin Ray pitched. I have not see if Ray is going to go tonight or not, but they did use an opener when Ray was scheduled to go the last time.
That's another reason I changed the top of the lineup. So damn, stop doing this to just get these 3 guys out.
And they're fourth in runs per game, by the way, after facing the Phillies, of course.
But Jeff, no matter how you
and the Mets, they swept the Mets.
Even Jeff, though, if no matter how you stack it, if you put Schwarber 1, Turner 2, and Harper 3, teams are still going to use a lefty because they're getting 2 lefties in the first inning.
I mean, let's be real. Alec Bohm and Bryson Stott need to start hitting a baseball.
Absolutely.
100%. Biggest problem with this team, Stott and Bohm have not developed, and they have not been able to help out the top part of the lineup. But as our buddy Bob Wankel just posted on Twitter just a couple hours ago, they have the least at bats with runners in scoring position in the league. The next fewest.
That out last night.
Yeah, 200 plate appearances is second. The Phillies have 183 at bats with runners in scoring position. Not good enough. We'll be back tomorrow on Phillies Fastball, Phillies and Cubs, and we'll be breaking it all back down right here. Make sure you like and hit that share button out there, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.